Unafraid, Reister or wrong, George Reister here. Guess what? It is another day of the greatest Unafraid show of all time. Bringing it to you guys today. Let you guys know what we have on track for you guys today. It's going to be another great show. Jimmy Sexton, he is known to SEC fans. But Pac-12 fans just got an introduction to the man who's the most powerful man in all of college football, which is Jimmy Sexton. And the business of college football is real. And you need to run your program like a business. So we're going to talk about running your program like a business. And it is time for Duck fans to move on from the last coach. I even forgot his name now. Time Magazine, their person of the year was revealed. The Silence Breakers. Thought this was a great and impactful choice for Time Magazine person of the year. And so that's what we got on track for today. But our quick hitter for today is, real quick, LeBron James. LeBron James, his 15th year. How is this dude getting better? I mean, how? He was groomed to be a pass-first guy. Talk about he's not clutch. But I'll tell you, the best thing that has happened to LeBron James is losing Kyrie Irving. Because now he's forced to take over and shoot those shots that he didn't want to shoot as soon as the Cavs started losing. Congratulations, LeBron James. Congratulations. You guys, make sure that you swipe up, share the feed now. Now we're getting into it. SEC fans, they know about Jimmy Sexton, who is Willie Taggart's agent. But Pac-12 fans are getting a birth by fire into the Jimmy Sexton era. So if you guys don't know, he's the most powerful man in all of college football. And college football will never, ever be the same. When you think about this, there are 11 of the 14 SEC coaches are represented by Jimmy Sexton. Do you understand that? 11 of the 14 SEC coaches are represented by one man. And not only that, he's actually replaced clients who got fired. He's replaced clients that got fired with his own clients. Think about this. The last 5 Tennessee head coaches have been Jimmy Sexton clients. I mean, this includes Butch Jones, Derek Dooley, Lane Kiffin, Phil Fulmer, and now Jeremy Pruitt. All Jimmy Sexton clients. Gus Malzahn at Auburn, Jimmy Sexton. Clay Helton at USC, Jimmy Sexton. Kirby Smart at Georgia, Jimmy Sexton. Jimbo Fisher, Jimmy Sexton. Dan Mullins, Jimmy Sexton. And the list goes on and on. And the guy he works with at CAA is Trace Armstrong. He represents, this is his buddy, they do tandem deals together. He represents Ohio State's Urban Meyer, Notre Dame's Brian Kelly, and Penn State's James Franklin. And you wonder why these coaches keep switching jobs? One guy will take over a job, then the next guy will take over a job. His job where he replaced and left, that's because of Jimmy Sexton. When you're already in the room, you get a chance to get these things done, and you can make concessions in one area. Hey, yo, why don't you take this guy, and then we'll take this guy, and then everybody's happy. That's the way Jimmy Sexton works. The most powerful man in college football is an agent. It's always the behind-the-scenes guy. Think about it. Everybody wants to be president of the United States, right? But it's not him that is the most powerful person or the most influential person. It's the Koch brothers. It's the whoever else, all these super PACs, all these other people who are actually calling the shots behind the scenes. Same way with college football. Same way. And it all comes down to the money. You have to follow the money and who's pulling the strings to get that money, to get that done. Because once you find that out, then you will know what is going on in college football. If you follow the coaching trail and follow the money, then you will see. That's why you have to run your college football like a business. You have to. Because if you're head coaching in college football and college football itself has turned into a business. Like, you have to run your team like a business. Because I'll tell you this. Nobody's going to swoop in and take any coaches from him because he's doing a fantastic job for his clients. It's like Roger Goodell. Like, he's doing a fantastic job for the owners. So guess what? He won't get fired. That's the way it works. You have to run it like a business, because if there's a business, there are two types of people who run businesses. There are owners and there are operators. The operators own the business as well, but there's a different distinction between them. Like an owner, he manages, oversees, doesn't get too much in the way, and eventually looking for an exit strategy at some point in time. Like, he's not looking to get out ASAP, but he's looking to get out when a better situation arises, or when he's tired of being where he's at right now. That's how college football, that's how you want your team to run. You do not want your team to run like a business who has an operator, because an operator is the secret sauce. Like, the business suffers when that man is away. That's what you do not want your college football team to be like. Because if the coach is the secret sauce, you're going to get lost. If your coach is the secret sauce, you are going to lose eventually. Because you want it to run like an owner, not an operator. Because if your coach leaves, no problem. Don't let the doorknob hit you. Get on up out of here, homeboy. That's fine. Thanks for coming. God bless. Good night. That's the way you want your college football program to run. Whether you're Oregon, whatever team it is who just lost their coach. Look at USC. Look at Alabama, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Miami. They've had multiple coaching changes in the last 15 years. All those teams have had multiple coaching changes in the last 15 years. And they've all survived and rebounded. They had some down years in between, but they all rebounded. People are wondering if they got that at Tennessee. Longtime fans, they get hurt when coaches leave. Yes, I do have Bitcoin, by the way. Long-term coaches, long-term fans, they are hurt when coaches leave because they look at it from an owner-operator mentality. If you want your coach to be an operator, you are going to eventually be heartbroken, because the landscape of college football has changed because of the guy I mentioned, Jimmy Sexton, David Dunn, all the rest of these agents. The coaches know that they are in fluid situations, that they can break ties with the administration, that they may get in fights about buildings, upgrades, whatever, power plays. And instead of handcuffing yourself to one team, no, they're mercenaries. That's what coaches are. They're mercenaries. This is the business of college football. You want your team run like a business, like an owner, not an operator. Because if you get a guy in there and he's the secret sauce to the success of your program, you don't really have a program. You have like Kenny G, right? Kenny G plays the soprano saxophone. Kenny G is the secret sauce. Like, if Kenny G's sick, Kenny G don't make money. That's the difference with difference in these programs. Like, these coaches are short-term hires. They're not long-term solutions to whatever your college football problem is. They're not. You have to get your program right the way it can exist no matter who's at the helm. And if you make sure that you hire a good coach, then you don't have to worry about how your business runs. If you hire a good manager, good general manager, and you're the owner, your business will be good. And you check the books, you continue to drum up business and all that, then your business will be fine. But if you are going to be an operator, have your head coach be an operator. Like, he's the secret sauce to your program being great, you're going to fail. And that is why I had a message for the Oregon Duck fans. It's time to, because I'm looking at my social media, everybody's still stalking. There's so many people still stalking the last coach. I'm done with dude. This will be probably the last time that you hear me refer to Willie Taggart in terms of, oh, something happened and all that stuff. We got it out yesterday. I wrote a letter. I'm not amending the letter, which I kind of wanted to. I'm not doing it. I'm done with dude. You guys should be done with him too. Because it's time to turn the page. It's time to move on. No matter who your coach is, I mean, it's over. He left. Leave your exes in the past. He lied and he left. Okay, go on. Let's keep talking about the new coach and where we're going. Let's get to Cristobal and Harrison and Wilcox and Sumlin and Levitt and whatever the hell it is that you want, because college football fans have that fear of missing out. That fear of missing out, and then that's where they get their programs. They think that their coach is the secret sauce. Unless your coach is Nick Saban, he's not the secret sauce. And truth be told, Nick Saban is so great because he gets #1 recruiting classes every year. That helps you be a great coach. Nobody wins without great players. Never happened ever. Never. I mean, and fans have to stop, particularly Duck fans at this moment, have to stop being insecure. Oregon's not a stepping stone job. There's a laundry list of guys who want to leave where they are and go to Eugene. But give up the expectation, Duck fans have to give up the expectation that you're going to have a coach there for forever. You don't even want a coach there forever. You need fresh blood in there sometimes to shake things up. You want to do it there 7, 8, 9 years, 10 years maybe? Okay, then go ahead. It's time for you to move on, go to greener pastures, and we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I think the Ducks are trying to keep most of their assistant coaches. Like, you do need to keep some stability in your program, but no coach can be bigger than the program, no matter who your coach is. He cannot be bigger than the program, no matter what school you cheer for. If your coach is bigger than your program, you are going to lose, and you're going to be insecure about your head coach all the time. You're going to be insecure about him all the time. And if I'm the Ducks, and I'm a Duck fan, so the coach that I would like to see, obviously I would love to see them retain Cristobal on some level. Levitt as well, Salavea, Arroyo, all those guys. I would like those guys to stay. Head coach, not in any particular order. Sumlin, Levitt, Cristobal, Wilcox. That's the George Reister list. I would throw Kiffin on there as well. However, that would be extremely unpopular, being that the last guy just bolted. And people think the same thing about Lane Kiffin, and they think that he would do it again, and Duck fans aren't signing up for that. I tell you that much. They aren't signing up for that at all. So stop being insecure about your program. They're fine. If the players want Cristobal to be the head coach, is that the safest way to go? No. You have to find who's going to be the best coach, period. You can't listen to people. Do you guys remember a bunch of windows ago when Microsoft, they consulted the people who bought their product and said, what changes do you want for the Windows 10, Windows Vista, whichever one it was. And the fans spoke, their customers spoke, told them what they wanted. And it was trash, because when you are in the middle of the forest, sometimes it's hard to see how many trees there are, and you don't know what you don't know. And that's what goes on a lot of times. So if you don't know what you don't know, you can think that you want a head coach, but you really may want him to be your assistant coach. He might be your best option. So I applaud Oregon for doing their due diligence and not just immediately, the guys want The guys want Levitt. The guys want Cristobal. Hire them. No, don't do that. Don't do something. Do the right thing. Main thing in life. Don't do something. Do the right thing. Next thing up. The Time magazine. Oh, actually, I'll go to Roger Goodell first. The Ducks' head coach. I already named the guys that I think should be the top four. Should be Levitt, Cristobal, Justin Wilcox, Kevin Sumlin, and with a little asterisk next to Lane Kiffin's name, even though I think there's no way he gets it. Next thing up, Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell is the commissioner of the NFL. And this dude just got a new contract, 5 years, up to $200 million. Like, do you understand this? Like, we think the business of college football is serious. Business of pro football is even more serious. Think about this. That's almost $40 million a year. And the man has already made $200 million. Isn't it incredible, though, that you have a guy who's the commissioner of the league? By the time he finishes his whole career, if he gets another term, like, he may be a billionaire by the time he finishes being a commissioner. That's twice what Tom Brady makes. Twice. So he's twice his value. And here's one thing that I will point out, because I know a lot of fans that get to complaining about salaries. Oh, players being greedy. This guy's being greedy. All of this stuff, right? Think about this. Think about this key point is that these owners, NFL owners, Shad Khan, Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones, all these guys, they are shrewd businessmen. Shrewd businessmen. So why on earth would you call anybody else greedy? Because here's the thing. Is that if the owners can afford to pay $100 million in salaries every year, $40 million to the commissioner, how much do you think they're making out of that $13 billion in revenue? I mean, for real. So let's stop feeling sorry for the owners when players try to get their money. Like, let's just stop, because they're not being greedy. They're just being smart. They're being smart in the situation. Because the owners, like, these aren't startups that are trying to make money. These NFL owners and teams are winning. They're doing fine just on their own. They're doing great. And these are billionaires. They're shrewd businessmen. There's no way that they're going to pay out more money than they're making. Playing the players $100 million, commissioner $40 million, and you think that they're not taking home at least that much? Man, please. Get out of here. That's the reason why everybody wants to be an NFL owner. It's the good old boys club. Everybody wants in. Think about this. The only athletes that have made more than Roger Goodell over the course of his time as commissioner have been Kobe Bryant and Alex Rodriguez. Two of my favorite players of all time. Two of my all-time favorite athletes. Like, they are in my A-Rod's in my top 3 baseball players of all time. And Kobe Bryant is in my top 3 basketball players of all time. And he should be in yours too. They should be. Yeah, so, and the only football player who's made even close to him is Drew Brees, $183 million. And Goodell's already over 200. But then the NFL is suffering itself. I mean, oh, I love Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds is my favorite baseball player of all time. It's not even like, it's Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey Jr., and then A-Rod. Like, that's where we are. So the NFL is suffering from self-inflicted wounds. Like, everything that's happening to the NFL is self-inflicted. Like, whether it is, I know some people are upset about kneeling, some people are upset about this and that, but like I said before, the NFL is suffering from self-inflicted wounds. First of all, the NFL got in the adjudication business, which was a bad idea, trying to adjudicate legal matters in their own league, like with Tom Brady, Ezekiel Elliott, suspending guys who are free, who aren't being charged with crimes, suspending them for incidents. Like, that's what the legal system is for. The NFL screwed up when it got into the business of that. And Roger Goodell who just got this $200 million contract, is at the center of that. So this man is worth $200 million despite the fact, and almost $40 million a year, despite the fact that there are continuing self-inflicted wounds that the NFL is giving itself. Jerry Jones already told you, this is not a good way of doing business. He told them that, trying to adjudicate legal matters in the NFL. So that's one of the self-inflicted wounds that the NFL has given itself. The other self-inflicted wound that they've given itself is with these suspensions. These suspensions that they keep giving the players are insane. Look at the fact they just suspended Juju Smith for a game for literally no reason. The man, he hit Vontaze Burfict. He hit Vontaze Burfict on a block, a legal play, but he gets suspended because he hit him too hard. He bothered oh man, we got to suspend Juju. He hit him too hard. I know Juju stood over him, which was Bush League. I'm not in on him standing over him. However, you do have to consider who he was standing over. Vontaze Burfict, leading the league in personal fouls for years and years. Led it in the NCAA. But you're going to be, I mean, it's kind of one of those, you know, he kind of deserved it. He had it coming for a while. Juju Smith just was the unlikely enforcer of all the karma that Vontaze Burfict has built up. I mean, it is just, and when you have big guy on small guy, I understand the Hines Ward rule. However, when you have big guy running towards small guy has to unload on big guy. Otherwise, big guy is going to run him over. Because if Juju Smith does not lay Vontaze Burfict out and he just goes up there, as they call it, like pity patting, or the coaches call it titty blocking, he's going to run Juju over. I'm not mad at Juju for this because, yeah. And the NFL, like these self-inflicted wounds that Roger Goodell, $200 million man, keep letting the league do that is with these inconsistent punishments. Gronk comes and dives and spears a dude on the ground, intentionally trying to hurt him, and he gets one game, same way Juju did. I mean, come on, bro. Like, players getting fights. Oh, it's okay to fight in hockey. It's this, it's that. Like, it's the inconsistency that fans don't like. It's the politicizing of everything. It is old. It is tired. Like, come on, Roger Goodell. Come on. Like, and you guys think that there shouldn't have, and they don't think that they should have hired a new commissioner. The NFL screwed up by not hiring a new commissioner. Because if they had hired a new commissioner, they could have gotten away from a lot of this nonsense and had somebody come up there and say, you know what? Because when you have a coaching change, a leadership change, there's initially a grace period. So you're going to have a grace period with fans, grace period with players, grace period everywhere, which allows for a fresh start, people to feel good again. But NFL owners, the good old boys club, they stick with what they know. That's what they do. They stick with what they know. And they don't want to disrupt it. Back to the Ducks real quick, because there are some people asking about it. I don't know who the head coach is going to be, but I think that Cristobal, Levitt, Wilcox, and Sumlin are going to be the top names. But of course, back to the NFL. Yes, the owners, they care about their money, they care about their man. The inconsistency with him is awful. It's just like it was time to move on, and they had an opportunity, but they stuck with known quantity. Instead of saying, you know what, we're going to be progressive, we're going to be forward thinking. No, the NFL is going to continue to take the black eyes until they figure out, hold up, instead of the traditional model of us against the players, no, we need to be aligned with these players and then figure out how to realign ourselves with the community, because the NFL is suffering from a product problem. We're talking about all this growth with the NFL. The growth with the NFL literally has been stunted, but it has been masked. Like, people don't understand this. You guys swipe up, share the feed now, because I'm going to talk about what problems the NFL has had and that have been masked. The NFL has had its problems masked for years, and it's been covered up by, number one, fantasy football, and number two, it's been covered up by daily fantasy sports, and third, gambling. Those are the things that have covered up what's going on in pro football, in the NFL, why ratings are down and all that. It's because there was an oversaturation. People wanted more content. You gave it to them too fast. You owned Sunday and Monday night. Now you want Thursday night. And then you want us to watch it all day. Now we can watch it on our phones. Because while I want to watch football games, here is what people really want in life when it comes to live sporting events. People just don't want to miss out. And the day and age has passed where you could miss out. Because if you didn't watch the biggest game of the week or any game of the week, you would miss the biggest and best plays. But now you will never miss them, and you can watch them damn near in real time. Somebody will text you a link. Oh, did you see that catch Dez Bryant made? Jumping over a guy. Did you see that flip that Julio did? Did you see that pass by Tom Brady? Did you see that hit? Nobody misses it anymore. That's what the NFL used to have going for it when people wanted more content. They wanted to not miss out on stuff. And now there's no reason. They will never miss out on anything with the NFL because you have a device in your hand. You have a phone in your hand that has all the power. So you can't possibly think that the game is growing at the level that you thought it was, but it was masked with sports gambling, which is always huge on games. The other thing that masked the problems of the NFL is fantasy football. Fantasy football craze blew up. People started watching more football and more engaged because of fantasy football. And then daily fantasy came around, which engaged fans even more. Then there was a bigger boom. Those things have masked the problems of lack of good quarterbacks, an inferior product, a slow and boring game. That's what it has masked. That's what it has masked. So there's no way at any point in time that you could say that nothing has changed in the NFL. It has. Everything has changed. But you couldn't see it. You could not see what was going on with the NFL. The last thing up today that I want to talk about real quick, I want to give Time Magazine props for naming the Silence Breakers Person of the Year. Have to give them major props for that. Because I'm glad that it wasn't Trump. I thought they got it right by not giving it to Kaepernick. I believe they got it right with these silence breakers because these men and women have disrupted the entire world and changed it for the better. Because no longer do you have to be a victim in silence, whether you're a man, woman, any of that with sexual harassment, whether it's in your job, whether it's at work, whatever it is. Roger Ailes, Bill O'Reilly, Uber, whatever company, music industry, TV industry, whatever it is, you don't have to be in fear anymore. But I will tell you this, that I will speak to the men right here on this. Because I've heard a bunch of men say, I'm afraid to even talk to women at work now. I'm afraid of this, afraid of that. You don't have to be afraid if you pay attention to one key rule, men. Men, if you pay attention to one key rule, you do not have to be afraid with your interactions with women at work. Don't say or do anything that you would have a problem with if they did it to your mother. So if you would be cool with a dude whipping it out in front of your mom, then you should then that's what you should do. So if you would be okay with that, then that's fine. If you would be okay with a dude grabbing your mom, then cool. Yeah, then that's what you should do. Exactly. Nobody would be okay with that. Nobody would be okay with that. So that is the rule. You don't have to be afraid at work about talking to your coworker. You don't have to be afraid at work about what you say, about the funny emails, about this or that. No, if you would have a problem if somebody said or did it to your mom, then don't do it. Because I've heard a lot of men say that they are afraid. And there are people that believe that these things could be weaponized against people in terms of payback or scorn or all of this. There is, of course, there are going to be some people that abuse the system. However, if you believe that the overwhelming majority of these people are not telling the truth, you, my friend, have lost it. It's been going on for a long time, like racism has been going on for a long time. So I just wanted to applaud Time Magazine, their Silence Breakers being the person of the year. I thought it was great. You guys can't throw me off with these comments. Are you Mexican? Yeah, exactly. Yo hablo español. Más o menos. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Unafraid, right or wrong. We're here every single day bringing that heat. And download the podcast at iTunes if you miss anything today. And you guys share the feed because we're going to keep it popping every single day. You guys are dope. You guys are the best people around. All right. Peace out.